Soilless farming basically is the ability to grow plants, or the ability of plants to grow without the use of soil. And we are soilless farmers.
On BattaBox, we are at Ogun State to meet up with Samson. Samson is a modern farmer who is into soilless farming. But what is the old thing about this soilless farming? Let's go find out.
I'm Samson. I'm a farmer. We are soilless farmers, growing of plant without soil. We are tech-driven farmers. We apply technology in agriculture. Soilless farming basically is the ability of plants to grow without the use of soil. And the question people would always ask is, how do you say plants will grow without soil? It is important we understand what is the function of soil in itself. If we understand the function of soil, it will be easy for us to eliminate the soil and bring in a substitute that can play the function of soil. Something like rice hull to grow my plant. The rice hull will be able to retain water. It will be able to allow for aeration. It will be able to give support to the plant. So if I use things like rice hull and the rest, automatically I am already doing soilless planting in the basic form. Advantages of soilless farming is, one, you can plant all year round. You don't have to depend on season, whether it is rainy season or dry season. Every season is planting season, and every season is harvest season. Number two, because we put our farms in controlled environment, you don't have to worry about use of things like insecticide, fungicide, pesticide, and all of that the soil-based farmer puts on their plants. Number three, because the system is automated, it is much more attractive to the youth. A youth is much more willing to pick up this kind of farming than pick up a farming where you tell them to pick up hoes and cutlasses. Number four, with this kind of soilless method of farming, you don't have to worry about weeding. Once you plant, you're not coming to say, okay, let's go and weed and all of that, which means that your dependency on manual labor is highly reduced. When it comes to soilless planting, in soilless planting, you can use either the natural nutrients or the synthetic. It's your choice. Take for instance, most of the farmers you have growing around the world, they use synthetic fertilizers. Using synthetic fertilizer in your soil is equivalent to using synthetic fertilizer in soilless. While there are some that say, no, we want to specialize on pure organic farming. Same way, you also have soilless farmers who decide they want to go for pure organic farming. Now, let me also add that for soilless farmers who are using synthetic fertilizers or inorganic fertilizers, their products have been found to actually be healthier than those that are doing soil-based farming and using synthetic fertilizers. All of this is technology. Take for instance, here we have a humidifier with a fan that we are able to use to regulate the humidity of this area. We are able to regulate the temperature, and for farmers, these are two key things that they need to try to regulate externally. Normally, you would expect that when you come into this place with nylon covering everywhere, it should be very hot, but we are able to regulate the temperature. So if the place gets hotter than this, we have a cooling system that we can still use again to reduce the temperature further. All of this is technology. The feeding of the plant is through technology. The control system is inside.
How does it work?
At a specific time, so you can see this is the nozzle where their nutrients will come out from. It touches the roots. Yeah, it will pick soon. Once it picks, you would come back. No, in a few minutes it should pick. This is how they get fed. You can see it spraying now. It may not look obvious, but if I put my hand in it, you see my hand getting wet. So this is how they get fed. So once it touches the roots of the plant, the root takes up the nutrients. Like human beings, we don't eat 24 hours a day. The same way plants are not gluttons, they don't eat 24 hours a day. So we regulate their feeding to maximize their growth. They feed for about 45 seconds every 15 minutes, depending on the temperature and everything. At night, about 15 seconds, about 45 seconds, then there is about 30-45 minutes rest at night. because what we look at is how long does it take the roots to dry out. So you want to feed them before their roots becomes dry. As long as their roots are not dry, there is no need to feed. It means they still have food.
Okay. So what kind of plant is this?
This is yam.
Yam. Okay.
Yes.
Has this started growing tuber?
Yes. You can see the tubers already coming out. So the idea of aeroponics is to produce what we call seed yams. To produce seed yams that the farmers are going to get to replant. Now, the advantage of aeroponics for yam is there are three things we are going to harvest from here at the end of the day. One, we will harvest the tubers. Two, we are going to get single node vine. Everywhere a leaf comes out, we call it a node. If we cut this and put inside soil, it will give us back yam. So which means from this plant as it stands, I can get about 20 yams from this one plant. Like I explained earlier, this is originally a single node vine, so I want to bring it out. So here, this is a single node vine cutting. Okay. Just one of these cuts and put in here. I will take this. I want to rinse out all of the soil, so I rinse it out. So I come here for planting. This is foam, ordinary foam, like that, and like that. I'm done with planting. So in 3 months, I would have over 300 of these vines. In about 3-4 months, over 300 like this that I can cut and produce. Then I will get the tuber, so I have about 301 from a single plant. Now in the case of tomatoes, we can also use, there's a different system, like I said. This is meant for tuber crops. That is why there is a space at the bottom for the tubers to go into. Tomatoes is not a tuber crop, so we don't need to give it a space like this. So there is a different system designed for that. However, for the planting, we start from a seed. So you can take a single tomato seed, run your nursery. Once the plant is okay from the nursery, you transplant to the system, you are done.
Any challenges or risks this method of farming?
Yes, number one is the technical know-how. You need to understand how it works. The system allows your plant to grow fast. It also means if there is an issue, plants will die faster. So it's important, the knowledge is really, really important too. It's a learning curve, you have to be patient. Technology does not mean no human intervention. It means taking cognizance of every nitty-gritty, anything that can go wrong. It's our job to ensure we check continuously to be sure. Take for instance, we monitor the temperatures closely. We monitor the humidity, the pH of the nutrient, and everything is monitored closely to ensure the plants grow well. So we'll check the powerhouse where all of these functions are controlled. In here we have the nutrient tanks. The nutrient that feeds them comes from here. The reason they are buried is because we want to mimic the temperature of the soil. We have the pumping machine that supplies the nutrients inside. We have this that has been developed called the pressure tank. So the pressure tank is able to pump water without depending on electricity. So here we have the timer that controls the spraying of the plants. And to make the nutrient, we just need about 800 grams of fertilizer as opposed to what they will use on the field. Which is why I said in a year, we're going to use about 1 bag of fertilizers for 2 years. So I'll just show you the nursery where we have plants.
Okay, let's go.
So this is the nursery section. In here, whatever substrate we need to use, even if we're using soil, we get them from outside where we filter. Those single vine cutting is what we brought here originally. We have used what we needed to use. These are the extra not used. First thing we started with when we started as a company was trying to convince people that it wasn't demonic, it's not unnatural, we are not going against the tradition, we are not anti-Bible or anti-Quran. A lot of people did not understand how you would grow plants without soil. However, I think after we were able to cross that hurdle, the next major hurdle we had to cross was, is this process of farming healthy? So I think right now people are getting to realize if it's healthy.
Do you think soilless farming could actually take over soil-based farming in the future?
No, the vision is not to replace soil-based farming, but rather to complement soil-based farming.
has moved from hoes and cutlass to automated farming. And I hope these new developments would attract more people, especially the youth, to farming. That's all what we can take on today's show. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep watching BattaBox. I am Odunwayo Oti, and this is BattaBox.